Today we are planning for the new year. I say new year, but I'm well aware that we are very much into January at this point. For some reason this year, I just wanted to take my time with setting goals and just doing more of the life new year prep rather than just taking out Christmas decor, kind of getting the house in order, all of that. But I'm so excited to share because we have some really big goals for the new year that I'm so excited about and have honestly just been looking forward to for a very long time. Yeah, I'm gonna share some goals. I'm gonna make a vision board for the year. I wanna go through my business expenses, some budget things, go through that, do a little bit of a digital declutter, just kind of organize all those areas of our life for this year ahead. I also wanted to share by reading this quote because I have been on Pinterest so much lately. It's truly been just my favorite form of social media, if it technically is social media. It says, "A beautiful life is not stumbled upon, it is built, it is chosen, it is nurtured over the years. A beautiful life is made from the heart, not the head. It is not one we can rationalize our way into, it's one that must be felt. A beautiful life is not one that is immediately comfortable, but one grown through the acknowledgement of what is worth being uncomfortable for. It is not one that is easy, but it is one that is worth it." I'm such a believer that the little things you do every day really do make up your entire life. And I know that sounds simple, but I think a lot of times you can look at someone's life and maybe think that they fell into that, they got lucky by living just this beautiful, well-rounded life, but I really believe it takes putting an effort in all these little areas and prioritizing the things that you want your life to look like. And I think that's why I really enjoy the fresh new year. It's a time to just step back, assess where you're at, assess where you want to be, and figure out those small ways to get closer to that place. And of course, let's start by making a vision board. I am really excited about this one this year because again, I've just been on Pinterest so often. My favorite way to do this is go on Pinterest, look at different photos that inspire you, maybe include things you're looking forward to for the new year. I like to do this before setting goals because it kind of gives just a creative visual representation of where you want the year to be. I usually just sit down and search and do it all at once, but I've been pinning photos over the last month and I'm really excited to see what comes about from it.
Take me to the ruins, aquifers and springs, baby ferns uncurling, every living thing.
I'll insert mine on the screen right here, but I love this. It's so representative of what I'm really looking forward to the next year, and I will share those goals. It'll probably make more sense there. Yeah, just lots of happiness, lots of color, really enjoying this life of, you know, our family of 4 now with Mr. Cash. I usually like to set this as my laptop background. It kind of keeps me mindful about those goals that I have instead of just forgetting them come February, March, but it's always top of mind. You could also make it for your phone background. I love Canva because you can just quickly make your wallpaper whatever size you need it to be for whatever canvas you're working with. But I personally like having this as my laptop wallpaper. My phone one, I always like having a personal photo like this super sweet one of Aiden and Connor. That makes me really happy. Change of location while the landscapers are working around our house. Let's talk about goals. I didn't set any goals last year because I was freshly postpartum at the start of the year, and that was not the time of my life where I wanted to be setting strict goals for myself. Really, my only goals were to find my footing as a mom and to raise my child, raise a baby, learning how to be a mom. That was my entire goal, and I'm so thankful this last year that was my primary focus. I'm still really proud of how I was able to keep up with some of the other things in my life, but I am such a believer that life comes in seasons rather than trying to balance all these different things all the time. I'm still very much in my season of being a mom. That's the primary focus. But I do have some goals this year, not too many, but they're ones that I'm so excited for. Also, yes, we still have our tree back there. We need someone to come pick it up, and it's just been chilling, and I kind of like it because it's naturally making our air smell really nice. Before setting any of these, I really asked myself, do I have the capacity for this? This is a theme of my life lately. I never want to be in a place where I feel scattered and I'm running on empty and trying to just achieve all these things. I would much rather be all in, dialed into a few things rather than so many different things. So yeah, before setting any of these, do I have the capacity for this? I would really encourage you to ask yourself that, whether you're a parent or not, whatever season of life you're in. But our first goal, I say ours because it's very much a family goal, is to buy a house. I'm finally putting this out into the world because this is truly the first season of our life where we have felt immense peace about buying in terms of where we want to buy, in terms of what we want in a house, what our family really feels comfortable with. That just has not been the case over the last few years. Aiden and I got married in 2020. We have been renting ever since then, and I think I felt just a lot of pressure in that season to buy a home and do all the steps. I think even a part of me having a child felt just this feeling of, oh, I need to own a home. I need to have these roots down before having a baby. And I just wanted to encourage you from the perspective of someone who's been waiting for a number of circumstances. I think financially we've been able to, but there have just been other factors that left us feeling a little bit uneasy. And looking back, I'm so thankful we did not purchase at the peak of the market. I know for some people that just like totally made sense, but for us, the fact that we're so much more confident with where we want to be, I just feel peace. I feel peace about it, and I want to encourage you, if you're in a season of life where maybe you feel behind, maybe you're just always in a waiting period, to not rush it. I have no regrets, and I'm also just so excited and looking forward to this phase of life, buying a home. And I know it's not all rainbows and butterflies, especially after renting. It's nice when your AC breaks and you're not in charge of fixing that. I will say this house has been kind of a good entry level because we actually own most of the appliances in this house, and then we've been responsible for lawn care. It's kind of felt like a good entryway into home ownership, but not nearly the same. I'm very aware of that. It's okay to be in a waiting season. And also with just everything in my life, I have always tried to focus on feeling peace with any decision. I really believe that God speaks through that peace. And you know, there are circumstances where maybe you don't know the reason why something's happening, but just relying on the fact that God knows what's best. He has a plan for you. I truly believe that, and I think this feeling of peace is from that. Of course, I will be sharing so much of this journey in the spring, early summer, hopefully. So yeah, I am really excited. Making wherever we live just truly feel like home has been so important. Even renting, I'm always a believer that even when you're renting, you don't have to paint and do wallpaper. You can definitely do those things if you want, if your lease says that you can. But I just think that life's too short not to make your home feel like a home. And I don't think you have to own the place that you're living to make that happen, but I am very much excited to have something that we can call ours. And I'm really praying that it all comes together well. Secondly is to have a bit more concrete rhythms throughout our day. I think especially as I say stay-at-home mom, but I am working doing this. It doesn't really feel like work. It feels like a dream job at the end of the day, especially as he moves towards dropping a nap. I'm a little bit intimidated right now by the fact of he's gonna be up for like 5-6 hours at a time. I just wanna be very mindful about how we're spending our days, and I like the idea of having just more kind of established routines of we do art at this time, we read at this time, and obviously having flexibility within that too. I think it totally depends on the child, but just through raising him, especially his type of personality, I realized he does really thrive on having a routine and kind of knowing what to expect. We started doing a gym class once a week, and that's been fun. Just having that anchor of, okay, we know we have this fun thing to do, we know we have this outing. I think it's great for kids to know what to expect. And especially thinking about schooling down the road, what that looks like, I think having some sort of routine will be good for that later on. Continuing to get back into running, that's a huge one. I would say over the last month have really been focusing on this. It is the best medicine for me as a person, just mentally, physically. I have missed that, and especially not really running too much during pregnancy, postpartum. I realized how just depleted I felt not having that. So I'd love to get back into that, maybe start running some sort of race at the end of the year. I don't know if I'm there yet, but that would be amazing. More connection with other moms. This is a huge one. This is a really big one. It's a big goal for mine. Yeah, I just want to meet other moms. I want to be more in community with other moms. I think that motherhood is one of those things that is so uniting, and it's nice you can be from so many different walks of life, different ages, into different things, but there's something about having a child, you just naturally already have something in common with someone and can relate on a newer level. I think going through that early postpartum time, not having that was a big reason why I struggled early on. But it takes effort, it takes time to find those other mom friends, and it's something that I am really hoping and praying and will focus on in this coming year. Finding my style, this is another one I've kind of touched on here and there in the vlogs, but I have been using Pinterest so much and just pinning outfits that are comfy and casual, comfortable in the season of life, but that just make me feel good every day. Just getting ready every day. It feels so good. Doesn't have to be putting on full face makeup, doing my hair. This is not the most practical outfit for every day, but it feels good just having a style and knowing what you like, having those like core pieces in your wardrobe that you just wear and wear over and over and over again. I'm not talking about having just a massive amount of clothes that I go through all the time. It's actually not what I want. I'm trying to get more of those just classic pieces I'm gonna have for years. That's the goal. More date nights. Yeah, that is so important. We have not done this nearly enough. At the end of the day, we do try to really connect in the evenings. That's been really important. It's a big reason why I don't vlog too much at night unless it's like right before I go to bed, because that time is really sacred for the two of us after working, taking care of a child, having that time to bond. But I want to do things and not just going out to eat. That's something that I really don't miss since having a child. I don't miss like going to restaurants as often as we did before, but I want to go to concerts, I want to go to movies, do some fun things, you know, have more creativity with those date nights. Keep prioritizing experiences over things. I love having experiences to look forward to. Actually, coming up this spring, I'm going to a Ben Rector concert with my sister Jamie, and I am so excited for that. I've seen him once before, but it was one of the best concerts back when I was in New York City. I love having something to look forward to. It's so nice. And every time I declutter, organize the house, I'm always just like, why do I have so much stuff? That's not what brings me joy. I want to focus more on experiences. I think the last couple of years we've done this more and more, especially having a child. It's so fun doing all the things that you did throughout your childhood. Yeah, it's just fun reliving your childhood, and I'm really looking forward to the things that we have coming up. More time dedicated to hobbies. Again, this is something that you have to ask, do I have the capacity for this? Does this really make sense? But there are two things I would like to learn this year. One thing is knitting. I started knitting with a couple of my friends. It's such a good activity for getting you off your phone, especially in the evening. It's just so nice, like curling up with a cup of tea and knitting. I love the idea of that, but oh my goodness, it is hard. I will talk about that journey in upcoming vlogs, but I would love to do that. And then scrapbooking. I got into this with Connor's baby book the last year, but I'd love to start a new scrapbook just to document family adventures, time with friends, you know, life in general. And lastly is just to continue relying on my faith through it all. One of the things I'm so thankful for, I've talked about this a lot, but with becoming a parent, it has given me so much clarity in life. Going back to the house thing, with all of that, we just got so much clarity after, I don't know, before I had time to really sit and marinate and worry and think about things, and practically I just don't have as much time anymore to do that. But also having a child, it makes you realize what's important, what's not, what you have time for, what you don't have time for. And the biggest thing is the fact that it's made me realize just how important faith is through it all, in every aspect of life. Raising a child who is really learning through seeing you, seeing how you interact with the world, more than reading any books, more than flipping through flashcards, seeing how you act as a person. That is how your child is really going to learn. Of course, they're given their own God-given nature, and that's, you know, set apart from however you raise them. That goes into the whole nurture versus nature debate, but it's made me realize just how much more important it is clinging to God, clinging to the truth that God has provided for our life and those around us. And it's something I hope to continue to focus on in this new year. Let's do a little digital declutter. I do this pretty much monthly because if my wallpaper is super scattered, it just stresses me out so much, especially while I'm working. But the other big area I want to do this is going through my photos. Please let me know how many photos you have, because when I tell you I have 104,000 photos on my phone, 1,500 videos. Granted, this is my job, but I think I use that as an excuse, like, oh, I need to get a photo of this. I need to take 20 photos when I really just need one. So one thing I've been putting off is going through all my photos. I think there's a way to make this more realistic. Maybe just over the last year, go through and just delete things. Screenshots, multiple photos I have, things I don't need. I have been moving my videos over to my laptop. I've been talking about how to store photos, especially when you're a parent, you're trying to kind of keep up with the memories and everything. And so far, I've been moving all my videos of Connor onto my laptop and my flash drive, and then also my hard drive, and then deleting them off my phone, which is sad because I can't tell you how many times I like to go through and look at old videos of him randomly throughout my day, but practically I've just been needing to do this. That we already have covered, but the photos I haven't done. So let's go through it. Last area I wanted to work on was business expenses. This is something that I have never been great about keeping. I keep track of them, but organizing them, I'm really thankful that now we work with an accountant. I used to do all of my business finances, taxes, all that on my own, but now someone actually works on our books for us. It's been huge, especially this last year, this season of life. How many times can I say this season of life? I still have to give our accountant all the receipts and everything, keep track of everything, and just for my own purposes, I also like to keep track of income, all that. So I'm gonna work on that while I'm sitting here, while I have time to do this. Today's video. I hope this motivated you guys. Feel free to share any of your goals you're focusing on this year. I'd love to hear, and let this be your sign. If you've been wanting to do this but you think it's not January 1st, we're already well into January, it is never too late. You can do this in July. You could do a mid-year reset. You could do this whenever you want. It's never the wrong time to, start being more mindful about your life, what you want, how you want your life to look. At least that's what I'm telling myself. But I say this all the time, but it is such a joy getting to share on here, and I cannot wait for another year of just sharing videos with you guys, what I'm learning, what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, all those things. So thank you for being here, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.